Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we just put the housing data in. Okay, so you've got your housing data there. There's actually, I just was reviewing everything, and actually I realized there's only one piece of data left to do, so you're almost there. The trade balance. I don't put the core. Remember, the preliminary GDP, we don't put that in. I only follow the final, and we've already got that, right? Final and advanced GDP. So we've got everything we need there. I don't bother actually putting in the PCE into the data. You don't need it. It's pointless, okay? Because we've already got inflation data, okay? PPI, CPI, and it's 2 weeks earlier, minus 2 weeks versus core PCE. So I like to look at it, don't get me wrong. When the release comes, I just have a look at it, kind of see where it is. But, you know, it's very late in the month, okay? So I've already got inflation data, so I don't track it, at least not graphically, okay? I don't think it's as important as the CPI data, anywhere near as important, and I believe it does say that as well. Let's go and find the release. The core PCE, you see it there, core PCE price index. You can open it up. So released monthly, about 30 days, right? It takes an awfully long period of time. This was actually a little bit early because of the Christmas holidays. It was released slightly early. Look at the next release, 28th end. So we can see here, differs from core CPI, only measures goods and services consumed by individuals. Weighted according to blah 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 blah, rumored to be the Federal Reserve's favorite inflation measure, but CPI is released 10 days earlier and tends to garner most of the attention. Okay, so I do look at it. Obviously, I want to see how it is. It does obviously going to follow generally the trend of the CPI, so I just keep an eye on it. That's about it, to see if we get any kind of crazy readings or whether it backs up the CPI. They're going to be highly correlated anyway. I've already got the CPI. I'm trying to think like a trader here. I'm not trying to think like an economist as such. I'm trying to think like a trader, and a trader already has inflation data. Okay, we talked about this before. That's why sometimes GDP takes a back seat, because I already have a lot of the data that I need. So for me, core PCE is not worth charting. I keep saying this because if you want to do something different to me, you want to chart it for a bit, see if you do find any value in that. You don't need to do exactly what I'm doing. A lot of this is, you know, just me experience. So, you know, you can try it and come to the same conclusion yourself, or actually maybe come to a different conclusion. So we've just got trade balance, and then we're absolutely done. So let's put that in. It's one of the last kind of releases of the month. Let's put that in. There is a goods and a goods and services trade balance. We have both. So we're going to put that in. You can see it. Let me just find it. Is it here somewhere? There you go. Goods trade balance. Okay. Don't believe I've actually got the full trade balance because I'm not at that point yet. Yeah, it won't come until next week, so that's fine. What we'll do, because I said what I'm going to do is I'm going to update all of you with, let me just show you what I mean. Do you remember I said I'm going to show you how to update all your data, right? At least 1 week's worth as an example. So I'll let all this next few days data come out, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But in the time being, and then I'll update my full trade balance data. In the meantime, let me just do everything that I've got, and you can follow along. There's plenty for you to go along with. So we're going to go to my latest goods trade balance. Do you remember what I said? Goods and services, right? There's a trade balance for every country, and they'll be trading in goods, but also services, right? You know, people providing legal services, different types of services, right, will be exchanged with obviously other countries. And then obviously physical goods as well. Goods is about 75% of the trade balance, and I believe that will be confirmed if I can find it. That is, it's here, isn't it? Week 4, one of the last. So where is it gone? Goods trade balance. Do you see? Trading goods makes up about 75% of total trade. I know a lot of this, okay? So that's why just using experience. I appreciate a lot of this might be going over your head, it may not, but once you've seen this a few times, you're going to know this better than me, so don't worry at all. Let's now put the two trade balance numbers together. Okay, so what we're going to, because we've got two axes here, we don't need that. We're going to put everything on one axis. Let's use the PPI. Okay, just random. I'm going to use control, drag this across. Remember, it's one of the last pieces of data, so I'm going to make it the last piece of data. I'm going to call it trade week 4. Okay, I'm going to make that color is right. You see, no color. I don't want any color. Tab color, no color. Okay, I'm going to call this goods trades balance. Goods trade balance. Match destination formatting. Okay, latest number is what? Billions. Okay, difference in value between imported and exported goods. Okay, so it's the net trade balance. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there. Okay, so just to reiterate, okay, just so you all following, is the net number. Okay, so it's exports minus imports. Okay, it's a negative number. That means that they are importing more than they are exporting, and that's why it's a negative number. Okay, and you're going to see it's been a persistent deficit for quite some time now, and in fact hitting record deficit numbers. But this is just the goods balance because it is released slightly early. So that is Wednesday, December 29th. 21. That's the latest. November data released 30 days later. Okay, and then I'm going to copy all of this data down. Copy and put that in there. Remember, don't update that line you've just updated it. It's the next one down. Okay, match destination formatting. Okay, and delete all of that. Alright, maximize this. So again, what I need to do, as we done before, you'll only ever need to do this once and you'll never do this again, so don't worry about this. You won't be doing this every month. It'll only take you 10 seconds to update this, but one time, type in the numbers so it recognizes them as dates. So 24th of November 21, 27th of October 21, and so on and so forth. Remove these B's, F2, get rid of that B. Again, I'm just going to hit Control Z here. Okay, we want to change the formatting here, let's not forget. Right, let's do it for this whole thing. Okay, so when you select all of this, format cells, I'm going to move this out of the way in case I'm blocking it. Number, 1 decimal place it's reported as, so that's fine, hit OK. And I'm going to get rid of these B's, all of these B's. Okay, same for the forecasts. Previous, okay, and so on and so forth. I'm going to pause the video here. I want you to change all the dates, actuals, forecasts, previous, get rid of all the B's, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, so I've updated all of those. Took me about a minute. It wasn't difficult at all. Can you see we're running a deficit? So it's in negative territory. Let's change this to trade. Okay. We know this is in billions. Let's just put a B to remind ourselves this is in billions. Versus forecast, that's all fine. I would actually flip these over, okay, because we want the negatives. You know, obviously if it's negative, it's actually dragging away from GDP. So when we're under forecast, it's actually a bad thing, okay? In the grand scheme of things, even though traders are really not focused on this because it's been persistently negative, what we want to do is just flip these over. So conditional formatting, highlight cell rules. What we want to do is if it's greater than 0, we're going to make it green. Okay, conditional formatting, if it's less than 0, we're going to make it red. Okay, so can you see the latest number? I think it's a record deficit that we've just hit. So that's a negative thing, right? Versus the forecast. The forecast was for 89 billion deficit in the goods trades balance. We actually came in worse than that. So minus 8.8. Now I'm going to update the whole trade balance, which includes services. So we've got 75%. You can even put 75% in brackets if you want. I know it's about 75%, so I'm not going to bother. Go and find your next. So you see, for me, the services balance for this period still hasn't been released. It's going to be released this week. So I'll come and update it. So I can't actually take this data here. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take this historical data. I don't have current data, which is fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, select all of this, copy. Okay, I'm going to paste it in here. Paste. Okay, there you go. So I've got two data that are exactly the same. Just remind ourselves of what the frequency was. I'm sorry, I should have done this before, where the goods trade balance is frequency. So copy the frequency, copy. Okay, match destination formatting, there you go. I'm going to copy that frequency across. Now we're going to go back to the full trade balance. Okay, so just to remind you, goods trade balance is goods only, about 75% of trade, and then this, which is the full trade balance, equals goods and services. Okay, so 100%. So the services trade balance data is not available for a few days later, and that's why they release it separately. Okay, so you can see it here. It's done by the Bureau of Economic Analysis. Okay, so takes them a little while to get all the data. So you see here, goods and services. Okay, now I don't have, so I'm going to use that, change that to, that's the full trade balance. Okay, I don't actually have this. We can delete all this data. In fact, let's keep it for a second. Delete all that. I don't have this release for November yet, but I don't want to put all the history in that same column because I need it to be aligned with what's on the left. So I need to leave this blank for now. Okay, I know when the date is. It's on January the 6th, so I can put the date. Uh, 22 for me. Obviously for you it might be different. I don't know what the actual is. I know the forecast. I don't know the previous. Okay, so I've got some missing data here. So I can paste that in. Now I'm going to put the history in. So remember, I haven't got an actual figure yet. It hasn't come out yet. Sorry, that should be January the 6th, isn't it? I don't know why I put that. January the 6th, 22. Sorry about that, I made a mistake. Copy all the history in. Okay, so I'm going to copy the history in here. Match destination formatting. Delete all the stuff I don't need. December. Okay, yep, that looks right to me. And now I need you to do the same thing. Okay, so 7th of December 21. We're going to get rid of all the B's. Okay, all these B's. Okay, and I'll see you. I'll pause the video. I'll see you in a second. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. Done. Took about a minute or two. Very, very quick. Very straightforward. You can see the graph updated itself. You know, you can just double check. Basically, edit. Goods trades balance. Okay, sorry, the actual series. So if you click on it, edit. Series values, can you see? Taking the right values. Click OK. Obviously for the full trade balance, edit, series values, can you see it's taking the, but we just don't have a value yet over there. So I'll have that this week. I'll come and update it when I come and show you how to update everything. But look at that, beautiful. You got your trade deficit there, which kind of makes sense, right? Your goods trades balance is highly correlated because the difference is what? Services. So the gap between that and that is services. Okay, that is goods only, which is the first release, this one. Okay, and this is the full trade balance. Okay, so includes services. So the difference is basically services, okay, between the two of them. So we can see what a drag the goods trades balance is. It's very negative, right? Very, very negative. But that is it. Pretty much done. Very exciting point. I hope you can see you've got a full fundamental dashboard. This is exactly what I'm using. You can see why I'm so on top of the data. Gives me a massive edge over even other institutional traders. I like to keep track of everything. Very easy for me to keep on track of kind of how things are going. I'm using control page up, page down here, but really hope that was useful for you. We'll talk a little bit about it further when I just update the trade. So I'm going to update the trade number this coming week when I get some time, because I need to show you anyway how to update, just very briefly how to update the data. Is very straightforward, like I said, to insert a cell, copy it, and just copy the data in. It's very, very straightforward, but we're going to do that anyway together with some examples from this week as soon as the data. So you can see today's a bank holiday. I'm working right now just building this, but this whole week we've got a raft of data coming out. So probably at the weekend at some point, once everything's been released, I'll come in here and I'm going to show you how I'll update a few examples, so you have those examples which you can then use to update as well. All right, have a great evening. I don't know if you're going to carry on with the next module. I'm not going to be recording that now. I'm going to go off to bed. Literally I spent about 12 hours today, as you can probably tell. Same t-shirt, looking very disheveled, but yeah, really, really great job. Well done for following through with everything. One thing I nearly forgot, just update that frequency, which is where are we? So let's get the frequency correct. Trade balance. Obviously, if you think I've made a mistake or an error somewhere, please do let me know. Don't be shy. It's good for me as well. You know, I want things to be accurate. I'm fairly comfortable that what I'm doing is accurate, but obviously, you know, it's a lot of data. I try my best not to make any mistakes, but if there is anything, just feel free to let me know. Don't be shy. Let me know. We can just check the data as well, by the way, so we can check the trade balance. Okay, and I'm happy with that. Can you see? Right, going down, going down. Let's have a look from my latest date, which is 2019 December. My first date of data. There you go. Okay, so that's perfect. You can see the drop down, and don't forget it's that. There is that. We haven't had the next piece of data. Okay, so I'm very, very happy with that. Series October. That is October. Yeah, perfect. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so, you know, like I said, not to dwell on it too much, but hopefully this will become very, very handy for you. We can start to do analysis now. We don't need to worry about looking up data too much, apart from when new releases come. Got everything at your fingertips. Very, very excited for you. I'll see you in the next section, which will be where I update all the data, just to show you how to update the data anytime a number is released. And then after that, we can start to have a look at kind of what a lot of this stuff means. It's very straightforward, don't worry, it's not complicated. I try and keep it as simple as possible. I'll see you on the other side.